Hello, everybody. This is The Home in the World by Rabindranath Tagore. Chapter 12, Nikhil's Story, Part 16. I returned slowly towards the inner apartments. The Bhararani's room must have been drawing me again. It had become an absolute necessity for me, that day, to feel that this life of mine had been able to strike some real, some responsive chord in some other harp of life. One cannot realize one's own existence by remaining within oneself. It has to be sought outside. As I passed in front of my sister-in-law's room, she came out saying, "I was afraid you'd be late again this afternoon. However, I ordered your dinner as soon as I heard you coming. It'll be served in a minute." "Meanwhile," I said, "let me take out that money of yours and have it kept ready to take with us." As we walked on towards my room, she asked me if the police inspector had made any report about the robbery. I somehow didn't feel inclined to tell her all the details of how that 6,000 had come back. "That's just what all the fuss is about," I said evasively. When I went into the dressing room and took out my bunch of keys, I didn't find the key of the iron safe on the ring. What an absurdly absent-minded fellow I was, to be sure. Only this morning I had been opening so many boxes and things and never noticed that this key wasn't there. "What's happened to your key?" she asked me. I went on fumbling in this pocket and that, but could give her no answer. I hunted in the same place over and over again. It dawned on both of us that it could not be a case of the key being mislaid. Someone must have taken it off the ring. Who could it be? Who else could have come into this room? "Don't you worry about it," she said to me. "Get through your dinner first. The Chotarani must have kept it herself, seeing how absent-minded you're getting." I was, however, greatly disturbed. It was never Bimmel's habit to take any key of mine without telling me about it. Bimmel was not present at my mealtime that day. She was busy feasting Amolya in her own room. My sister-in-law wanted to send for her, but I asked her not to do so. I just finished my dinner when Bimmel came in. I would have preferred not to discuss the matter of the key in the Bhararani's presence, but as soon as she saw Bimmel, she asked her, "Do you know, dear, where the key of the safe is?" "I have it," was the reply. "Didn't I say so?" exclaimed my sister-in-law triumphantly. "Our Chotarani pretends not to care about these robberies, but she takes precautions on the sly all the same." The look on Bimmel's face made my mind misgive me. "Let the key be, now," I said. "I'll take out that money in the evening." "There you go again, putting it off," said the Bhararani. "Why not take out and send into the treasury while you have it in mind?" "I have taken it out already," said Bimmel. I was startled. "Where have you kept it, then?" asked my sister-in-law. "I've spent it." Just listen to her. Whatever did you spend that money on? Bimmel made no reply. I asked her nothing further. The Bhararani seemed to make some further remark to Bimmela, but checked herself. "Well, it's all right anyway," she said at length as she looked towards me. "Just what I used to do with my husband's loose cash. I knew it was no use leaving it with him, as 101 hangers-on would be sure to get hold of it. You're much the same, dear. What a number of ways you men know of getting through money. We can only save it from you by stealing it ourselves. Come along now. Off with you to bed." The Bhararani led me to my room, but I hardly knew where I was going. She sat by my bed after I was stretched out, and smiled at Bimmel as she said, "Give me one of your pans. Choti, darling." "What? You've none? You've become a regular Mem-Sahib. Then send for some from my room." "But have you had your dinner yet?" I anxiously inquired. "Long ago," she replied, clearly a fib. She kept on chattering away there at my bedside on all manners of things. The maid came and told Bimmel that her dinner had been served and was getting cold, but she gave no sign of having heard it. "Not had your dinner yet? What nonsense! It's fearfully late." With this, the Bhararani took Bimmel away with her. I could divine that there was some connection between the taking out of this 6,000 and the robbing of the other, but I've no curiosity to learn the nature of it. I'll never ask. Providence leaves our life molded in the rough, its object being that we ourselves should put the finishing touches, shaping it into its final form to our taste. There's always been the hankering within me to express some great idea in the process of giving shape to my life on the lines suggested by the Creator. In this endeavor I've spent all my days. How severely I've curbed my desires, repressed myself at every step, only the searcher of the heart knows. But the difficulty is that one's life is not solely one's own. He who would create it must do so with the help of his surroundings, or he'll fail. So it was my constant dream to draw Bimmel to join me in this work of creating myself. I loved her with all my soul. On the strength of that, I could not but succeed in winning her to my purpose, and that was my firm belief. Then I discovered that those who could simply and naturally draw their environment into the process of their self-creation belonged to another species of the genus man, and I to another. I had received the vital spark, but couldn't impart it. Those to whom I've surrendered my all have taken my all, but not myself with it. My trial is hard indeed. Just when I want to help mate most, I'm thrown back on myself alone. Nevertheless, I record my vow that even in this trial I shall win through. Alone, then, shall I tread my thorny path to the end of this life's journey. I've begun to suspect that there has all along been a vein of tyranny in me. There was a despotism in my desire to mold my relations with Bimala in a hard, clear-cut, perfect form. But man's life was not meant to be cast in a mold, and if we try to shape the good as so much mere material, it takes a terrible revenge by losing its life. I didn't realize all this, that it must have been this unconscious tyranny of mine which made us gradually drift apart. Bimala's life, not finding its true level by reason of my pressure from above, has had to find an outlet by undermining its banks at the bottom. She's had to steal the 6,000 rupees because she couldn't be open with me, because she felt that, in certain things, I despotically differed from her. Men, such as I, possessed with one idea, are indeed at one with those who can manage to agree with us, but those who do not can only get on with us by cheating us. It's our unyielding obstinacy which drives even the simplest to tortuous ways. In trying to manufacture a helpmate, we spoil a wife. Could I not go back to the beginning? Then indeed I should follow the path of the simple. I should not try to fetter my life's companion with my ideas, but play the joyous pipes of my love and say, "Do you love me? Then may you grow true to yourself in the light of your love. Let my suggestions be suppressed. Let God's design which is in you triumph, and my ideas retire abashed." But can even nature's nursing heal the open wounds, into which our accumulated differences have broken out? The covering veil, beneath the privacy of which nature's silent forces alone can work, has been torn asunder. Wounds must be bandaged. Can we not bandage our wounds with our love, so that the day may come when its scar will no longer be visible? Is it not too late? So much time has been lost in misunderstanding. It's been taken right up to now to come to an understanding. How much more time will it take for the correcting? What if the wound does eventually heal? Can the devastation it's wrought ever be made good? There was a slight sound near the door. As I turned over, I saw Bimala's retreating figure through the open doorway. She must have been waiting by the door, hesitating whether to come in or not, and at last have decided to go back. I jumped up and bounded to the door, calling, "Bimmel." She stopped on her way. She had her back to me. I went and took her by the hand and led her into our room. She threw herself face downwards on a pillow and sobbed and sobbed. I said nothing, but held her hand as I sat by her head. When her storm of grief had abated, she sat up. I tried to draw her to my breast, but she pushed my arm away and knelt at my feet, touching them repeatedly with her head, in obeisance. I hastily drew my feet back, but she clasped them in her arms, saying in a choking voice, "No, no, no, you must not take away your feet. Let me do my worship." Well, I kept still. Who was I to stop her? Was I the god of her worship, that I should have any qualms?